Very good evening, welcome to the programme. Apologies straight away if you're an owl. Let's just get it out there. First and foremost, that this programme, and I know one or two of you watch in secret, as Blades do when it's an owl show, this is a Sheffield United special this evening, but I do know that one of our guests in particular has got admirers on both sides of the city. Some of them are secret admirers, but he's also got a legion of fans of the red and white persuasion, because he is a legend of this game of football in this city. He is Len Badger, and he's joined tonight, I'm delighted to say, by a Sheffield United club director, Martin Green. Now, Martin, MD of the Red Tooth Entertainments Company. The Chase is one of the programmes that you help service. You're very closely connected with many of the chasers, including Mark Lebet. And can I say to both you gents, to start with, it might be a corny line, but the long chase is over. What do you say?
Fortunately.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's been a good season. You can feel the difference in the crowd. The players are responding to what Chrissy's obviously told them. And if you consider that Chrissy at Northampton had got promotion with 8 games to go, and the players hadn't been paid for 2 months, it tells you the measure of the boy, doesn't it, really?
It certainly does, but he's failed this time because he's going to get promotion with only 5 games to go,
How
4 games to go.
disappointing is that?
Isn't that really, you know, his standards are slipping. But what a season it's been for Sheffield United. I mean, it really is all over, bar the shouting or the fat lady singing. I know it could have been last night, but Fleetwood went and won. But it delays the inevitable.
You can feel the difference at the ground, and afterwards, you go in the pubs afterwards. Obviously I do, and mixed with the supporters, you can feel the difference and the buzz that surround the place.
The great thing is you watch every game. Martin, welcome. You are going to get a word in, because it's not just going to be on-field talk, a little bit of off-field talk as well. But what a pleasure to be interviewing a Sheffield United director with nothing taxing or controversial to ask you. Now, this is a rarity in the experience of the Bramall Lane boardroom, I would suggest.
You say we're just about there. I think we're right at the finishing line, our chest pushing against the tape, just ready to break it. That's how close we are. Like you say, it could have happened yesterday. We were prepared for it to happen yesterday, because if Fleetwood would have lost, certain implications off-field, season tickets and things. So down at the ground, we was ready for that. It's been extended now, hopefully, for Saturday against Northampton. Unfortunately, a game when we've only been given 1,400 tickets, and every Blade wants to be there on Saturday. But we have a solution for that.
You do indeed. I'm tempted to say that not securing promotion last night was good for business. Being back at the late extension to the same price season tickets for next season.
Phase 1.
Which is only until you know which division you're in, so it's extended.
As a marketing campaign, we sat down and worked on back in early January, when we genuinely didn't know at that stage which division we were going to be in. And we wanted to reward the fans. We wanted to price the tickets at a sensible price, but of course, you can't price them unless you know what division you're in. So we came up with phase 1 of the campaign, where almost like a tactical campaign, where I can imagine as a fan sat at home, you're thinking, well, if we beat this team and bolt and loose to that team, the campaign could be over on this date. So I need to get my season ticket by that date. And taking the gamble, buying the ticket at a last year's price, which was 10% cheaper than the year before. Phase 1, the price freeze price, and then getting promotion and feel that you've won. You've played the tactics right, and you've got your ticket in time at a cheaper price.
Okay, obvious question from me then is, how many season tickets have you sold at this point?
Well, I've been at the ground every day last week. I've been there this morning. The queues have been around the car park, and I just want to say at this stage that the staff in the ticketing office, Carrie, the manager in there, Haley, who's done a superb job this week, they've been tremendous. We have really managed that queue. I know there was pictures on Twitter where we was out on the line with a little hostess trolley serving tea and coffee. We were giving chocolate away, biscuits away. So we've really managed the queue. It's been around the car park, and the fans have been great. They've been patient. So fantastic. How many have we sold? we've sold more than last year already.
More than the total last year.
More than the total last year already.
Well,
And I can't remember what the total was actually last year.
Well, my research for this programme, I researched what the sales were. I think around 13,000
Was that last year's?
was last year.
Right.
So you're saying you've sold more than that?
We've sold more tickets than last year.
And more than 13,000 then?
Sounds
But,
good to me.
hey, by my powers of deduction, they're not that great, but I'm assuming that from what he's
I
saying.
think what is important is that we're still in phase one. Phase one offer is on until our destination, the division that we're going to be in next year is determined. We're not there yet. Hopefully that's going to be on Saturday. So that what that means is that fans have still chance to purchase at phase one prices.
Yeah.
Those will be on sale right up to 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
When the referee's whistle goes at Northampton, if we manage to win, that offer finishes and ends. Then there'll be 2 or 3 days to process all the direct debit season ticket applications through Zebra, and then we will go and announce and launch phase two.
Okay, well, we've got the beanback figures to talk about. We've got the Kelbrook fight to talk about. Look ahead to next season, the championship. Len, you can put all this into perspective. Some people watching won't be able to, because unfortunately for them, they're not as old as you, or even as old as me. So I've got to tell them that you played for Sheffield United between 1962 and 1976, 14 years. You made 457 appearances. You went on to play for my team, Chesterfield, only for one season, alas, because of a horrible broken leg. Finished your career at that point at 32. You were a regular England under-23 international, and regarded, and having seen you play, would agree, one of the best uncapped players of his day, and some say that the best uncapped right back of that era, while Alan Woodward, just ahead of you in the team, was probably the best uncapped right winger. You saw some great days.
Absolutely, and I think you've got your assessment right as well, Alan. Not merely on me, on Woody. Woody was a top-class player who didn't get the rewards he should have had. And if you look at the side we had, there were several players. I mean, Trevor Hockey, international, Gil Rees, international, TC, international. So you were talking about a quality team.
Absolutely. And I remember some days there seeing you beat Cardiff 5-1 to move to the brink of promotion from what was the second division into the first division. 41,000 there. I watched it from the cricket side because we couldn't get anywhere near. And then you beat Watford 3-0. And you had that great season in the first division as well.
Well, we had a good start.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Ted Emsley, he was a cricketer, and of course it was a three-sided ground still then. And Worcester were playing Yorkshire at Bramall Lane, and the fixture list came out, and I got them off Arnold Newton, and Ted was waiting to go out to bat, and we looked at the first 10 games. Bearing in mind there was only 2 points for a win in those days, and we looked at the first 10 games and we thought, if we get 6 points out of that, we'll be more than happy. Well, we got top. Yeah, we got 10 points.
It didn't last, but never mind.
But it was...
Look back on those. And Ted Hemsley, your old fullback partner, pal to this day, regular Blades watchers to this day, and you couldn't be more closely connected. Some former players are sort of on the periphery and on the fringe, but this manager in particular, Chris Wilder, he's made a point of sounding you guys out on a regular basis. How regular is that?
Well, we do the corporate on match days, Ted and myself, and along with Carl Bradshaw. And of course we come into contact with Chris, and well, he's a Sheffield lad for starters, which I'm a Sheffield lad, so you've got a natural connection there, and you understand what he's trying to do, and you understand the feeling he's got inside him is the feeling that I've got inside him about the club.
Yes.
And
you were happy with the appointment. You've not always been happy with the decisions taken, and you've been honest enough really to let people know, particularly the Danny Wilson sacking, which Kevin McCabe, to his credit, fully admits was a mistake.
Yeah, I thought it was a mistake, but I thought Danny was unlucky in a sense. I mean, I know the Ched scenario will get repeated. But he was unlucky because with 5 games to go, I don't think you make the decision to do that.
No.
And to bring Morgs in, who's a bit of a rookie manager, with 5 games to go, not a good decision. And I think Kevin's he's actually said that to me.
He's told me, he's told me as well, for the record, that he certainly got this one right. And I think we all knew instinctively he got it right when he appointed Chris Wilder, didn't we? Didn't we?
His record is, I mean, wherever he's never had the sack, Chrissy, for starters.
I know, 15 years.
Which
whisper that.
Which financially for a manager can't be good, really. but you know that the Northampton thing, with getting promotion and the players not getting paid, and that is tremendous to motivate people who might not get paid for what they're doing. And that tells you the measure of the lad, and I really, really like him as a person.
Yeah, and clearly the players like him. Well, they respect him. He can certainly give them some hammer at times. I do know that, but they respect him.
Well, you can tell the dressing room's in good shape, can't you? Because, I mean, before the game, we see some of the players and we mingle afterwards, and we sit, and you can tell the feelings there.
He's done even better, perhaps, Martin, than the board would have expected. Is that a fair comment? Even better. You're top of the table. Our favourites for the championship.
I think we've got to look at the start of the season when we lose 3-0 to Southend. It's the 3rd game. I can remember getting a bit of abuse in the director's box myself and Steve Bettis. I think, but we obviously had confidence in him.
Was that abuse over the appointments?
It was abuse over, well, the game after when we lost to Millwall in the last minute with a penalty. We were bottom of the league.
Yeah.
So I think it was just frustration from fans' point of view. But, I think the turning point was away at Gillingham. We played with the wing backs, didn't we?
Yeah.
We scored towards the end of the game. I think that was a turning point in the season. And
Never look back.
Never look back. So.
Has the quality of the football surprised you? That just how extremely good it's been. We expected it to be vigorous, aggressive, more in the Sheffield United tradition and image of, from the Dave Bassett days, and Chris played there. But it's been such good football.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's played at pace.
Yeah.
The boys all understand what they've got to do. I mean, yesterday, Chris made some changes that I thought, but he knew what he was doing. He knew he had to play a different way. So he stuck 2 big boys up front, and it changed the game. I mean, a tactical change at that time when the game could have gone either way was a real stroke of a good manager.
Yeah, you're not celebrating yet, but undoubtedly you will be in the fullness of time. You've got the Northampton being back. 6,000 tickets available for that. How many have you sold there? Can you tell us how many?
Yeah, I can tell you that one. Yeah, it's important I tell you that one because there's not many tickets left, and we want to make sure that any Blades that want to attend that need to get on a Bramall Lane tomorrow. Tickets are on sale if they've not sold out by then, right up to kick-off. We've got 3 U screens, 3 25-metre screens facing the John Street stand, which has got a capacity of 6,000, not including corporate, the boxes and the Tony Curry suite. And so 6,000 tickets. I did check before I arrived here today, check with the ticket office, and we've just sold over 4,000 at this stage. So less than 2,000 tickets left. So if you want to go to the Northampton game, you got tomorrow, you got until kick-off on Saturday up till 3 o'clock.
And how appropriate that Northampton, Chris's former club, could be the place where it's. You couldn't have scripted it.
No,
couldn't have scripted it any better than that. People will wonder you don't start considering the championship and what's required financially for the championship the moment you get there. I would imagine you're thinking about that and structuring that a long way in advance, Martin.
Yeah, I think Chris is talking on a regular basis to Steve Bettis, the Chief Executive Officer, who to me is just a great guy. He's under the radar, Steve, quite a bit. He's not very public, but what a great guy to work with. And I know he speaks to Chris on a regular basis. I know Chris has spoken to him about players for next season already. We've got a board meeting at the end of this month. and I'm sure we'll have a clearer view then. What's in Chris's mind and a better vision at that stage.
Just in broad terms, because you're not going to give me a figure, and I'd even be naive to ask about what the spending power is going to be. I get the feeling, let me put it to you, that Prince Abdullah, having invested quite heavily at the outset of his involvement, I mean, the figures banded around a vary between 13 and 17 million, which kind of didn't buy anything because of the long time it's taken to get promotion. Got the feeling he parked himself for this season or just before, that he might now be starting to muscle in on the financing the club again. Is that a fair assumption from me?
I think a question I get asked quite often is, about Prince Abdullah's involvement this season. I can assure all the fans he watches every game home and away. He dials into the link and watches all the matches. He's got a fantastic relationship with Kevin. In fact, only last week they were together in Paris, talking about next season, planning for the future. I can't really tell you much more on that at this stage.
No, I wouldn't expect you to, but clearly Prince Abdullah came onto the board with a declared ambition to fund the club to some extent for it to be in the Premier League, and it was only at that point in the Premier League that he would expect a financial return, which is the reason why I feel going into the Championship kicks it on into that area for him.
I think as a club we've been very shrewd this season with players that have come in, paying people sensible money. In the past, we've been guilty of paying ridiculous wages, and I think this year we've got it right. A lot of that's to do with Chris. I think Chris would agree that the board have backed him with every one of the players he's brought in. I think he would say, everyone he's been to the board with, he's got his man. So he has been backed. I think, as I said, this season we've been sensible. No one's going to mug Sheffield United anymore, like they may have done in the past. This season we've got it right. I think it's a continuation of that.
Value for money, Len. Value for money,
yeah.
Yeah, plus also, when you consider that Kieran Freeman has become a different player, Coots is
Paul Coots,
a totally different player, but we did observe that Coots didn't want to be playing wide on the right. He'd rather be a centre, and you could tell that from. And Chrissy recognised that and put him in centre and midfield. And the boy's a different player. I mean, it's amazing how they've responded.
And Freeman's in your position. You used to make some rampaging runs down that right-hand side.
I was looking at his. Is it 9 goals he's got this year? Yeah.
Yes, 10 in total, including the Cups. 10 in
one season. Well,
wow.
I can't quite better that because I got 7 in 17 years. So
He's beaten you in one.
They were all classics, I can say.
Were they? Yeah, I'm sure they
absolutely.
were. I'm sure they were. But Kieran Freeman, that's a remarkable season, isn't it? But he's more of a winger at times. But his athleticism and getting up and down.
They play through at the back and the release. Both Laverty and Kieran, they can go whenever they want.
Yeah.
Whereas yesterday he did change. When he changed it, Chrissy went to a flat back 4 and it.
Yeah. Prospects for the Championship? I mean, I don't know. Well, I think Chris is loyal to people. He'll give these people an opportunity, these players.
Well, I think you're right. But I've looked at all the teams in our league, and we're more equipped to go into the Championship and perform well than any other side I've seen this year.
Right.
And Chris, he'll be looking to see how we can improve the squad for next season.
Yeah, but he's a loyal man. I think if you do it for him, he's not going to bomb you just because you're in a higher division. I think
you're right. He'll not do that.
No.
But he'll understand players who can do in the Championship.
Yeah. And there will have to be some strengthening. There's absolutely no two ways about it, which is where those discussions come in, Martin. and the figure you won't tell me.
It's obvious that there's going to be strengthening, and there will be money available for that to happen. Yeah.
Okay, to meet that look, part 1's finished. I can't believe it. In part 2, we're going to have a look at that Chris Wilder celebration. The only thing he's got wrong. Join us in 5 minutes. James Gregg will be here. See you then.